Hey guys, it's me, the rarest variation of Wigwam, the casually just got out of bed, haven't done my hair, and still wearing my sexy deep V-neck hooded shirt variation pop cap. That's the rarest one. That's some good shit. It's gonna be a good video. I even have the attachable unicorn coffee mug. That's a quality video right there. What is up, beautiful people? It's a day. We're gonna talk about Spider-Man. I, like everybody who owns a PS4, have been playing a lot of Marvel's Spider-Man because it's basically the best Spider-Man game ever made. Everyone's already reviewed the game and they've all said stuff like, it's great, it's good, it makes you feel like Spider-Man. In your heart of hearts. And it does. It's a great game. You swinging around, web shooting, flying through the city, making J. Jonah Jameson mad. It's got all the great Spider-Man highlights. But there's also some not so great parts, maybe? Like anytime you're an actual human, even Peter Parker himself, all the regular people in this game move around like constipated robots, and it is the worst. Sometimes the pacing is not good at all. There's like 3 Peter Parker and MJ missions back to back at one point. That almost made me put the game down forever. Not to mention all the overworld side mission stuff is repetitive as hell. Like seriously, you are doing the same thing over and over and over again, and that is what today's video is about. We could fix that. You see, there's something no Spider-Man game has ever really gotten right, and they've done a lot of good things over the years, but they've never utilized all of Spider-Man's side villains. Yeah, he got side pieces, his side bitches. You see, Spider-Man has a, how do you put this nicely? A side cast of stupid villains, which are amazing. There's so many incredibly stupid, lovely little villains that would make ultimately great side quest. That's what we're going to talk about here today. Here's how I would make Marvel Spider-Man a better game. You get rid of those dumb little side missions where you're like, Spider-Man, can you go fly through some clouds for me? Or can you catch a pigeon for me? No, I cannot. So first up is a villain called the Looter. Now there were 2 variations of the Looter when I was doing research for this video. One is a guy who's a failed scientist, kind of a dum-dum. He gets his powers from a gas from a meteor, a mysterious green gas, and he gets super strength, but it runs out and he has to steal more meteors to get more gas to maintain his powers. That's okay. That's a pretty medium road villain. But the second variation I found is the one I would want in the game. The one where it's all the same except for the part where the green gas blasts him in the face and he doesn't get superpowers. He just assumes that he does. And in his defense, you know, if I lived in Spider-Man world, I'd probably think that stubbing my toe on a particularly glowy rock would give me superpowers based on some of the origin stories that you see, but he doesn't. How brilliant would it be to have a one-off little side mission where you get to face the Looter, a man with no powers. You have to bring him down without hurting himself or his very fragile ego as he tries to steal meteors from the National Smithsonian, or whatever museum is in New York. I don't know. I've never been to New York. I don't know New York buildings. But that's just the tip of the dumb Spider-Man villain iceberg. You also have the Iguana. The lizard? No, the Iguana. The lizard's pet iguana, who got the same serum as the lizard, and I shit you not, basically turns into a were-iguana. Once a month, the iguana grows into a man-iguana and terrorizes New York. This is a real villain, alright? This villain would be absolutely perfect for a random encounter that would pop up every X number of nights in the Spider-Man world, or every so often in gameplay. You will get an opportunity to take down the were-iguana. The best part about the iguana side mission is that the iguana explodes at the end of his storyline. Yes, after you catch him, he would just blow up. You know, I'm about to talk about Big Wheel. Alright, everybody loves Big Wheel. Big Wheel is a man named Jason Wheel. Yes, his name was already Wheel. He was destined for wheel-based crime. He never stood a chance. Jackson Wheel was a businessman who embezzled a bunch of money from his company and then was blackmailed using the embezzlement into becoming a supervillain against his own will. He then embraces it, gets a giant wheel from what is essentially like a discount villain emporium, outfits it with some rockets and, villain stuff, and then just tries to kill the guy who's blackmailing him, and Spider-Man fights him and the guy drowns in the fucking Hudson River because he's stuck in a big, giant wheel. This is the greatest Spider-Man mission of all time. I get that they're probably saving this villain for the next movie. You know, they're probably gonna definitely put him in Far From Home, but it'd be a nice little teaser right now, you know, get people excited for the big wheel. You've got Typeface, a man who, it says it all in the title, he's got typing on his face. I don't know how they come up with this stuff, it's just so brilliant. The best thing about Typeface is not only is he an incredibly stupid villain with an overly tragic backstory about going to war, having his family leave him when he gets back, only finding solace in his sign-making job and then being fired from the sign-making job. Side note, who gets fired from a sign-making job? He goes insane, writes type stuff on his face, and starts trying to get revenge on the people who wronged him. Then Spider-Man comes along, and Typeface turns into a good guy. That's right, Typeface could have a great little side mission arc where he then becomes a side vigilante that could pop in and help you fight crime from time to time with the power of Typeface. There's another villain, Plant Man. Plant Man's kind of an actual like overarching villain that, and I don't know why, but for some reason has been in many different Marvel stories, fighting different villains. He's almost real villain status, but the reason I want him in this game is because of this picture right here of Plant Man throwing coconuts at Spider-Man. Now, I'm envisioning a side mission where throughout the city, you have to catch Plant Man over and over again as you go approach a tree, coconut or not, and he just starts pitching coconuts at you. You gotta swing them back at him, get him, you know, if it's the L1R1, boom, slam him with a coconut. Fucking Team Rocket's blasting off again, you gotta catch him again, just over and over again. I mean, tell me you wouldn't love that. Every time Plant Man shows up, there's a party. Everybody loves Plant Man. And finally, my favorite terrible side villain that I would love to have seen in this game, which would have made such an incredibly hilarious side mission. Better than Big Wheel, better than Typeface. It's the Swarm. What is the Swarm? Well, I'll tell you, dear viewer. It's a sentient pile of bees connected by an evil Nazi skeleton. That's right, an evil Nazi swarm of bees. That is the whole villain. That's it. That's the whole thing. You just have to fight a bunch of bees. I mean, I don't know what more you want. Why would I have to explain this any further? You're fighting a Nazi swarm of bees. That's a great mission. Put that in the game, Insomniac. But those are just a few of the side villains that I think would make incredible side missions. Jokes aside, putting side villains into video games like this for superheroes would be an incredibly fun little nod to the fans and make such more substantial side missions that would actually feel like you're doing something and wouldn't really take that much extra work. I mean, sure, you can still keep your finding the backpacks and your taking over the bases side missions in there. Those are decent enough to fill in the time, but get rid of the stupid fly around the city and disarm the bomb side missions and give me Typeface. Give us the Swarm. But hey, that's just my opinion. What are your favorite Spider-Man side villains that you wish would go into the game, and what did you like about Marvel Spider-Man? What did you not like? Let me know down below in the comments, as well as like this video and subscribe if you're new here. I do stuff like this probably a little too frequently. Alright guys, now if you excuse me, I have to go change into different costumes, because, well, don't question me on that one.